Loneliness. It's a silent epidemic. It affects millions. We can feel lost, alone and forgotten. The world moves on, but we feel stuck. This is the reality for many. They crave connection, a sense of belonging. But breaking free from isolation can feel impossible. Loneliness affects us deeply. It impacts our mental and physical health. We feel disconnected from ourselves, from others, from the world. We need to talk about loneliness. We need to share stories of hope. We need to remind each other we are not alone. Sarah, new to a bustling city, felt the weight of loneliness. Surrounded by millions, she felt utterly alone. The city's anonymity suffocated her. Days blurred into work and solitude. Her apartment felt like a cage. One evening, Sarah found a community garden. People were tending plants, sharing laughter. A flicker of hope stirred within her. The women welcomed Sarah with warm smiles and open arms. They shared their gardening knowledge and stories. Sarah felt a sense of belonging she hadn't realized she craved. As weeks turned into months, Sarah blossomed alongside her garden plot. The community garden became her sanctuary. Sarah realized human connection was about small, meaningful interactions, the shared laughter, comforting words, and simple acts of listening. Sarah's story is a testament to the power of vulnerability and human connection. John, a widower in his late 70s, felt isolated after his wife's passing. Their days had been filled with companionship and laughter. Now the silence was deafening. John felt adrift in a sea of grief. One afternoon, a knock on the door startled him. It was his neighbor, Emily, who often checked in on him. She invited him for tea and conversation. Over tea, John opened up, sharing stories and struggles. Emily listened with empathy and offered comfort. Section 5. The kindness of strangers. Emily's simple act of kindness, a cup of tea and a listening ear, became a lifeline for John. It reminded him he was not alone. Inspired, John volunteered at a local soup kitchen. He found solace and purpose in helping others. The community of volunteers brought him joy and connection. John's story shows the transformative power of kindness. Know you've been a good friend. Section 6. From isolation to inclusion. Maria, a single mother battling social anxiety, found herself increasingly isolated after the birth of her daughter, Sophia. One afternoon, while pushing Sophia in a stroller through a local park, Maria noticed a group of mothers chatting and laughing together as their children played. Gathering her courage, Maria approached the group, her heart pounding in her chest. To her surprise, the group welcomed her with open arms. The weekly playdates became a lifeline for Maria. Surrounded by a supportive community, Maria's social anxiety began to ease. She discovered the power of vulnerability and sharing her fears. As Sophia grew, so did Maria's confidence and her circle of friends. Connection wasn't about being perfect, but showing up authentically. It was about building bridges of understanding and empathy. These stories share a common thread, the power of human connection to heal, inspire, and transform lives. Whether it's reaching out to a neighbor, joining a community group, or volunteering our time to a cause we believe in, connection breaks down walls of isolation and illuminates dark times. When we feel seen, heard, and valued, we experience the joy of shared experiences and the comfort of knowing we are not alone. We tap into resilience and hope that allows us to thrive. The human spirit is wired for connection. In our relationships, we find meaning, purpose, and belonging. The journey from loneliness to love is not always easy. It takes courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to step outside our comfort zones. But the rewards are immeasurable. When we open ourselves up to connection, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. We discover the strength that comes from knowing we are not alone, the joy of shared experiences, and the transformative power of human love. Loneliness may be a silent epidemic, but it is not an unbeatable one. Together, we can build a world where everyone feels seen, heard, and loved. A world where isolation is replaced by connection, and where the human spirit is celebrated in all its messy, imperfect glory. Let us choose love, let us choose connection, and let us remind each other that even in the darkest of times, we are never truly alone.